Today saying, quote, "We have reports of damage in 52 of our 67 counties. Our damage assessment continues. We pray for those lives we've lost and well as those who were injured as well," end quote. One of those counties also including Walker County, where many families are telling their story of the close calls they endured as the storms came through. Your reporter Jonathan Hardison talking to one of those families about what they did to survive.
Here in Walker County, it was this storm pit that Terry Thomas says likely saved he and his wife's lives. They got the warning about the tornado, ran a few feet from their home down into this pit, and this door began to shake, he said, as they huddled behind it. He was holding it closed for dear life. Once the winds had passed over and calmed down, they stepped out into pure devastation around their home here. A lot of debris strewn across, like these shingles that had come off of his roof just a few feet away, trees that had been completely snapped in half, and then behind me here, complete and utter devastation. You see the path of the storm going this way, coming right over that pit, a pit that probably saved their lives.
And then as soon as we got in the storm pit, I looked out and I told my wife, I said, "Here it comes." As soon as the news media told us, they was correct, because we got in the storm pit and then it hit us.
And that pit obviously was a lifesaver for you guys.
Yes, sir. Wouldn't take nothing for it.
Around the Thomas's home, we found trees snapped like toothpicks, water still spraying from the ground, and neighbors trying to come to terms with the destruction this tornado created. But we also found lots of volunteers ready to help. The reassuring buzz of chainsaws, tarps going up on roofs, and a lot of folks thankful this wasn't worse.
Hey, the Lord blessed me. All their lives were saved. All my family was saved, and that's a blessing to the Lord.
So this is not a bad Sunday morning for you?
No, it's a blessing.
Just about 14 hours after the tornado ripped across this area in Sipsey, the signs of recovery are already there. There's tarps going up on the roof. In fact, right here, the power company's already come through. This is a brand new power pole put in since the storm knocked this one down. If there is any sure sign of recovery here, it is that. Folks already getting to work, helping their neighbors. New power poles up, a sure sign even in the midst of this devastation that unfortunately we know all too well how to recover from these storms, and thankfully, that's a process that is underway. In Sipsey, Jonathan Hardison, WBRC 6 News, on your side.
And just yesterday, I talked to a family in Chilton County. Gentleman said, "I've got the alert on my First Alert weather app." Don't forget to download that app. It is free. It is a great tool because it sends out those alerts. The First Alert weather team and your reporters here at WBRC are always on your side in the event of severe weather, keeping you up to date on the latest information in real time. You'll also be able to track your location, get those updates for your exact location, so know where you are. If you are in South Alabama, North Alabama, anywhere in the world, it follows you. And we weren't the only ones to see the impacts of the severe storms over the weekend. Cleanup is continuing today in Mississippi after parts of that state, after that powerful tornado moved through. Several powerful tornadoes. We're talking about South Mississippi. A lot of our weather moved from that direction. Check out this drone footage of the destruction in Walthall County. There were at least 3 fatalities, sadly, after a storm passed through a mobile home park on Saturday, with 3 additional fatalities in other parts of the state. So far, there have been 64 tornadoes reported across 13 states over the weekend, with nearly 45 fatalities due to this massive storm system that also brought wildfires, dust storms, and blizzard conditions to other parts of the country. In 30 seconds, we're bringing you the first alert for the chance of some patchy frost in parts of the area overnight, and we talk about how much rain we could see as we end the week as a possibility for more rain and storms increases. I'll see you in just 30 seconds.
We all know that we saw a lot of storms across the southeast this weekend, but how much rain did we pick up? From Tennessee to Alabama, a lot of heavy rain fell in a short amount of time. We picked up a good almost 0.6 of an inch in Birmingham and in Tuscaloosa. Anniston almost got upwards of 2 inches of rain. Talladega almost 3. Ashland almost 5. You can see where that really big swath of rain came through portions of Perry, Coosa, Clanton, so Chilton County, Talladega, and Clay. They picked up a good 3 to 5 inches of rain in spots. And yes, there were some localized heavier totals across the state ranging between 2 and 3 inches. Now we are going to pick up more rain on Wednesday. It doesn't look like a lot, but it will be some. And in fact, the March rain totals already are pretty high. I mean, Tuscaloosa 17 days in already at 3 inches, and then Anniston 17 days in we're almost at 5 inches, which is really just a little bit shy of the average. Birmingham, we're at 2.76 for the month, when we should be averaging around 5.66 by the end of the month. So here's a look at the next 7 days as far as rain totals go. This does include what happens on Wednesday and then potentially what could be happening Saturday into Sunday, maybe even early into Monday next week. We're looking at about 3/4 of an inch to an inch of rain. That'll add to our monthly totals.
All right, from rain to dry and cold again. Tonight's lows down into the low 40s, even some 30s. Some of our colder spots north and east. I was mentioning earlier we could see a little bit of frost. That's certainly possible, where we could drop into the mid 30s there around Center, Gadsden, Pell City, Alabaster showing around 39, 41 degrees. Certainly some jacket weather to start the day right early tomorrow morning. May need to adjust that thermostat. It's one of those back and forth kind of days tomorrow. Cold in the morning, but the afternoon will warm up to around 75 degrees. So we'll have a nice warm up. Next thing I'm going to be tracking this system that moves in Wednesday night. This is mostly after 7 o'clock. You can see it's a line of showers and storms. It's along a cold front. It won't last long, but out ahead of this, the winds pick up out of the south, and then once it moves through, the winds pick up out of the north. So cold front, and then we go from warm back to cold, but the possibility is there might get a storm out of this with some gusty winds, so something we'll be monitoring, but nothing like that set up on Saturday, and certainly nothing like this. Check out this video out of Gordo capturing the moment a tornado destroyed several chicken houses over the weekend. Those things over 500 feet, those chicken houses. This was in northern Pickens County. Just look at that power, and just happened so suddenly. That's right there off of 86 and in Pickens County. That stretch of corridor there, we've tracked so many of these storms through there, from Carrollton up to Gordo, Reform. A lot of those locations we call out from time to time, but thank goodness everyone there is safe, and wow, just unbelievable winds and the power across that area. And there were a couple, I remember at one point we did see a lot of debris lofted in that first tornado that moved through as well. That was around the Kirk area over towards the county line, but we mentioned that's now the tornado in Gordo rated an EF2 tornado. And with many people across West Alabama enduring the recovery process after the touchdown of that EF2, your reporter Brian Henry was in Gordo, where he spoke with residents and how they're coping.
On Highway 159 North, you'll see the storm's calling card. One Gordo Mayor Craig Patterson admitted gave him a brutal reminder of what nature can do.
Terrible, but I thought we were basically going to be out of it.
Patterson felt Gordo and all of Pickens County would escape the storm's wrath, but it was the tail end of the winds that slammed the area.
It surprised me when we was right there at the end of what we figured would be the end. We got hit.
Hit, and in some cases just wiped away. Chicken houses not far away were demolished, and the storm did a number on State Highway 86. Knocking down a number of trees on the road.
And then the community showed up.
And therein lies the real talker in the county to begin the week. Sheriff Jordan Powell says city and county leaders started communicating 5 days before the bad weather and made sure everybody was on the same page. And they were.
There was people showing up with front end loaders, skid steers, and they went to work without any questions.
Churches reached out. They were feeding people yesterday, and they opened their basements and shelters up.
Mayor Patterson doesn't have an official count of the physical losses, but we do know that homes were severely damaged along with commercial losses, such as chicken houses. The mayor and sheriff are just grateful they're not dealing with the loss of human life.
We're just blessed that it's material things right now.
I think everybody was saying it was going to be pretty bad.
Damaging, but no widespread catastrophe.
And for those of you in Chilton County, we're on your side with an option for anyone needing a place to go after the storms. County leaders now offering free spaces at the county parks for a few weeks. If you're a Chilton County resident and have a camper, you can find space at Manuka Park or Higgins Ferry Park. Had a chance to talk to a lot of you here in Chilton County yesterday, and our hearts certainly go out. We're going to continue to lift up our friends and neighbors out there. Don't go anywhere. We continue to talk about those rain chances for this week and take you to the National Weather Service, where they're reflecting on how the storm came right to their doorsteps. We'll be right back. And welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. Live look over Birmingham, 63 degrees at this time. That's from Crane Works overlooking the Red Mountain Expressway, and what a sunset view on this Monday. Thankfully, we've had this weather just settling down around the state of Alabama. Tonight's going to be a cold night. We're getting set for lows down into the mid-upper 30s. Some outlying areas went with an average low around 41. All these polygons you see flashing out there, polygon's been a popular term over the past several days, but those are flood warnings along some of the rivers. We picked up, as Megan noted earlier in the show here, over 3 inches of rain in a lot of areas. Our weather watcher Leanne Blair down in Millerville in Clay County was sending me some images of some roads there washed out. Tomorrow, 73 for the afternoon. So we get past that cold start. We'll have a nice day shaping up with plenty of sunshine. Winds out of the south to southwest direction for tomorrow during the day. But when we take it on into Wednesday, notice by the afternoon the winds pick up. So I know this is the time of year. If you think you need a real calm day, maybe you're thinking about treating the lawn, doing a little yard work out there, you need a nice, where the wind is settled, settled kind of day. In March, it can get kind of windy at times. Looks like later on Wednesday, the winds will pick up. So plan for that if you maybe want to sneak out on the lake, perhaps. But looking at future radar, this is coming in from the IBM model. And let me grab the controls here to that computer because we have a couple different models pulled up, and I just wanted to show you. Let me go back to the overnight and through tomorrow. Notice how dry it is through Tuesday morning. There's 5:30 in the afternoon Tuesday. We have plenty of sunshine. Tuscaloosa, you see some of the data here showing 80 degrees, but there's a look at 9 o'clock Wednesday night, and here comes the next weather maker. It's a nighttime system. I think this rolls in after 7 o'clock to around 9 o'clock across West Alabama. Showers, possibly a thunderstorm with this. This moves across central areas by midnight and then pushing through Gadsden, St. Clair County, down into Shelby County there around 1 in the morning, Talladega, Calhoun, into Coosa, Chilton counties 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's out of here. Nothing like the setup we saw on Saturday, but there will be some pockets of heavier rain, maybe some loud rumbles with this and gusty winds as it moves through later Wednesday night. And yes, if you're wondering, the models today did come in a little bit more impressive with the rainfall, so that's why we have bumped up those chances for maybe a few rumbles with this, possibly a stronger storm to the north. Low temperatures by Friday morning behind this system. You can see it will bring another abrupt change. We go from highs in the 70s on Wednesday back into the 30-degree range, a light freeze possible early Friday morning. So the 10-day going beyond the 7-day forecast looks like we do have that freeze early on Friday, possible in especially outlying areas, and then by Sunday night and into Monday and next week, another cold front could bring some rain and storms, some heavier rain possible, some rumbles of storms. At this point, the greatest severe risk looks west of Alabama. Most of Sunday looks dry. Most of the weekend looks dry. It's Sunday night and into Monday of next week. Another cold front moving through. So we'll continue to track that. Check the First Alert Weather app. Now to the close call for those who make the severe call. Our National Weather Service office located in Shelby County. They had to take cover as a tornado was tracking towards their headquarters. Your reporter, Josh Gann, is on your side with what those meteorologists had to do to stay safe, but also keep the public informed.
The National Weather Service is sheltering right now.
Okay, so
our friends in Birmingham and Atlanta is taking over.
We took shelter in our hardened safe room. And pretty much probably the public didn't even notice the difference.
So here's a tornado.
There it is. Oh,
100-mile-per-hour winds. We got a tornado here, folks.
As a tornado-warned storm approached the National Weather Service office near Calera, meteorologists and staff there didn't take any chances. As you can see, they hunkered down in their safe room, letting the NWS office near Atlanta temporarily take over operations.
It is a weird feeling when you're kind of getting up off your workstation. You got tornadoes inbound for the part of the metro area. But we also felt very confident that Atlanta and Peachtree City had it under control. Most importantly, we have to practice what we preach, right? We tell people, hey, tornado warning is issued for your area. You need to seek shelter. So it's very hypocritical for us to tell other people to do it, and we're not doing it.
Darden says they train for these scenarios.
We practice these things. We drill these things. We do backups for Peachtree City. They back us up. So we test the process to make sure it's working.
After a few minutes of sheltering, they were back tracking storms. Some, unfortunately, turning deadly.
One person losing their life is one too many. We want that number to be a zero all the time. And unfortunately, we had a few that lost their lives yesterday. But we heard so many stories already of folks that got the warning, and they took shelter, and they're okay. So that's fantastic to hear. And the whole team process worked yesterday. We had to take shelter. Atlanta took over. It was seamless. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Well, you all are some of the best in the business, and we can't thank you enough for what you do. So we really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Josh. It was great chatting with you.
All right, final check on this forecast. We're in good shape tomorrow. Lots of sun, cold start in the morning. Watching Wednesday night for rain chances. We'll update you on that timing. I'll have more forecast updates first at 9. Be sure to join us. Have a great evening. All right. All right, here we go, Bell Media. In 3, 2. First alert, Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. Dry weather expected for this Tuesday. Beautiful afternoon. We'll have highs in the 70s. Could touch 80 degrees parts of West Alabama. And wind will be out of the south at about 5 to 10. Not over breezy today, but tomorrow that wind's going to pick up. Kind of gusty during the afternoon because a cold front's on the way. This moves in tomorrow night. Now, most of the day tomorrow looks dry, but when this cold front, a little line of rain and storms sweeps across the state overnight hours, you may hear a rumble of thunder. Wind gusts pick up. There's 1:30 in the morning, and then it is out of here. So after that, the temperatures another drop. Looks like as we go to Friday morning, 34, might touch freezing and some locations, and then over the weekend, mostly dry until Sunday night. We're going to have another cold front that moves in Sunday night and into Monday, and then after that, a few dry days. But no severe risk like what happened over the past weekend. We'll keep an eye out for the possibility of some storms, some gusty winds late Wednesday night. But just that's the two systems at the moment that we are tracking. But a lot of sun in that forecast over the next 10 days. Updates today, weather on your side every 6 minutes, starting with the 4.